There's one Neville Goddard method that's more powerful than all the others, more powerful than SATs, more powerful than revision, more powerful than any technique you've ever learned. And most people completely miss it because it's not a technique at all. It's a principle, a truth, a way of understanding reality that changes everything. And once you get this, once you really understand what Neville was teaching with this, manifestation becomes instant, effortless, and inevitable. In this video, I'm going to break down the most powerful Neville Goddard method, what it actually means, and how to use it to manifest anything you want. I work with high achievers who want more in every area of their life. More love, more money, more freedom, more success. And the ones who manifest the fastest, the ones who make it look effortless, they're not the ones doing the most techniques. They're not spending hours visualizing or affirming. They're not using their willpower and efforting into exhaustion. They understand this one principle, this one method. And once they get it, everything else becomes unnecessary. If you're new here, hello, I am your Muse, Traci. On this channel, I help you unlock the power you already have but can't access. I help you break through where years of trying has failed. And the biggest hurdle of all, I help you go from intellectually knowing all this juicy information to permanently embodying it. Let's start with the foundation of this method. Neville said, creation is finished. Not creation will be finished when you manifest. Not creation is in progress. Not just what you can see and sense with your five senses exists. No. Creation is finished. Past tense, done, complete, everything you can think of, everything you can possibly have a thought about, it already exists right now. This is the most important thing you need to understand about manifestation. Everything already exists right now, fully formed, fully complete. The version of you with all the money you desire, the version of you with your SP, the version of you with success, the version of you with perfect health. All these versions exist right now. Not as just potential, as actual, complete, fully formed realities. Neville said all things exist in the human imagination, and these dimensions are infinite. Infinite dimensions, infinite realities, infinite versions of you. And they all exist right now. You and your SP madly in love, or you and your SP separated. You and your SP married, or you and your SP never have met. You wealthy, you broke, you abundant, you struggling, you successful, you stuck, you thriving, failing. You get the point. All these exist simultaneously right now, not in the future, not as things you need to create right now, already created, already finished. This is what creation is finished means. God, consciousness, source, whatever you want to call it, already created it all. Everything, every possible version, every possible outcome, every possible reality. It's done. It's finished. It's complete. So if everything already exists, if all versions of you and your life are already created, already complete, what are you doing when you manifest? Well, as I've said many times on this channel, you're not creating anything ever. You're always simply selecting. The most powerful thing Neville ever taught was exactly that, selection. Choose your assumption. Here's a few quotes about what Neville said about assumptions. The outer world is merely a reflection of your past assumptions. To change it, You must turn away completely from the current evidence of your senses and live in your imagination. Here's the next quote. You must not let the current observable world dictate what is possible, as the senses only reflect past assumptions. Here's the next quote. The outer world reflects your inner state. Therefore, changing your internal assumption forces the external world to change. Here's the next quote. The desired state already exists. You only need to align your consciousness with it. Love those quotes. You're not trying to create something that doesn't exist. You're selecting from what already exists. Think of it like Netflix. Every show, every movie, every episode, it's already there. It's already created, already finished. You're not creating the show when you click on it. You're just selecting which one that you want to view. Same thing with your reality. Every version of your life already exists, already created, already finished, already written, produced, whatever, all the things. You're just selecting what one you want to experience. When you assume I am abundant, you're not creating any abundance. You're selecting the version of you that is abundant. That version already exists. When you assume my SP loves me, you're not creating their love. You're selecting the version of them that already loves you. The version already exists. When you assume I am successful, you're not creating success. You're selecting the version of you that's already successful. The version already exists. This is the method, selection, and this changes everything about how you approach manifestation. It may seem too simple to be the most powerful method that Neville taught, but that's exactly why most people miss it. It's too simple. It's simple, but extremely powerful. So simple that most people miss it completely. They limit what they will allow themselves to select given their current circumstances, their current experience, their current evidence of reality. Because you're not waiting for something to be created and then, oh, okay, now you can select it. No, you're not wondering if it's going to happen. You're not trying to make it happen. You're just choosing. Which version do I want to experience? Then you select it. That's it. That's the method. Neville said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not try to create the wish, not hope the wish will be fulfilled. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled because it's already fulfilled in one of the infinite versions that already exists. You're just selecting that version. So, why am I saying this is more powerful than any technique? Well, it's because techniques are still operating from the assumption that you need to create something. You're visualizing to create, you're affirming to create, you're doing sats to create, but you can create what's already been created. And when you're trying to create, you're in the energy of, I don't have this yet. I need to make it happen. I have to figure out how. And that's all lack, that's separation, that's the energy that can keep you stuck. But when you understand you're simply selecting, when you know that the version you want already exists, you don't need to be in lack anymore. You're in choice. You're not trying to get something you don't have. You're choosing which version of what already exists you want to experience. Can you feel the difference? One is sort of desperate, trying, efforting. One is empowered. One is, I hope this works. One is, I'm choosing this. One is creating. Creating sounds hard. One is selecting. And selection is instant. You don't need time to create. It's already created. You just need to select it. And the moment you select it, you're aligned with it. Not in the future, right now. This is why Neville said manifestation is instantaneous at the level of consciousness, because you're not waiting for something to be created. You don't need some external proof to tell you that you get to choose it or tell you that you get to assume it. No, you're selecting what already exists, and that selection happens now. The only delay is in the 3D catching up to your selection. But as long as you don't go back on your selection, it's going to catch up. That's what it's always already doing, right? At the level of consciousness, at that level, it's instant. You select, you're there, it's done. So here's how you actually use this selection method. And I'm going to give you steps, although it's so simple. Do we even need steps? Let's just go with some steps. I know you guys like steps. Step 1, understand that what you want already exists. Not will exist if I manifest it. No, already exists right now. The relationship you want, the money you want, the success you want, the life you want, it exists fully formed, complete, finished right now. In one of the infinite parallel realities and one of the infinite versions that consciousness already created. Get super clear on this. Try to remember this. It's not something you need to create. It's something that already is. Step 2, select it. How do you select? Through your assumption. You assume it's done. You assume it's yours. You assume you're experiencing it. You assume you're living it. Not as a technique, as selection. You're saying, of all the infinite versions that exist, I'm just going to select this one. The one where I'm abundant. The one where my SP loves me. The one where I'm successful. That's your selection. That's your choice. And you make that choice through assumption, through deciding, through claiming. I am abundant. That's a selection. My SP is mine. That's a selection. I am successful. That's a selection. You're not creating these things. You're selecting the version where these things are already true. Step 3, persist in your selection. This is where most people struggle. They select the version they want, they assume it, they claim it, and they may be able to do that for, I don't know, what do you guys think? A day, a week, a month? How long can we stay there before we need the evidence? It's going to be different for everyone, but this is a good question to ask yourself, okay? So you select the version, you assume it, you claim it, and then at some point, after some measure of time, look at the 3D, and if it's still not showing, if 3D is still showing you the old version, what do you do? Do you doubt? Do you go back on your selection, right? If 3D is still showing you the same, what you were experiencing before, are you thinking it's not working? Maybe I didn't select it right. Maybe I need a different technique. Maybe my thing isn't created yet. We can go into all this kind of doubt, but notice, what is it for you? If you make your selection, some amount of time passes, you notice it's not there yet, you still see the old selection, where do you go? Where does your doubt land? It's a good thing to understand about yourself. So notice what doubt comes up for you, but also notice what's actually happening. The 3D is just delayed. It's always showing you your past selection, your previous selection. You just made a new selection. The 3D hasn't caught up yet. So you persist in your selection. You don't let the current 3D talk you out of, the version that you chose. If you selected abundance and the 3D still shows lack, but you persist in your selection, guess what's going to happen? Right? Because you have to know what you selected already exists. The 3D just needs time to reflect it, and your only job is to stay consistent. You cannot do this back and forth thing. If you selected your SP being yours and the 3D still shows not that, but you persist in your selection because you know that version already exists. The 3D just needs time to catch up. This is persistence. It's not trying to create, it's not efforting, it's just holding your selection regardless of what the current 3D shows you. This is where so many people struggle. If you're going to master anything, master this step. Master knowing you've made your selection. That is all that is required of you. You might temporarily notice, oh, 3D, oh, it's not there. Okay, don't need to worry, because as long as I persist in my selection, it's going to catch up. It's going to catch up. That's how this works. But if you keep going back and forth, that's when it doesn't catch up, because you're doing this flip-flopping thing and you're creating the illusion that it's not happening. Okay, but you're doing that. Don't blame the system. You're doing that. Step 4. Live from your selection. And this will help you actually with step 3, persisting, right? So when you live from your selection, you don't live from your current 3D. You live from the version you selected, whether it's there or not. If you selected abundance, you think from abundance, you feel from abundance, you move from abundance. Now, not I will be abundant when the money shows up. No, it's now, because you selected that version and that version already exists. If you selected your SP being yours, you think from being chosen, you feel from being loved, you move from being in the relationship. Not, I'll feel chosen when they show up. You're chosen now because you selected that version and that version already exists now. You live from your selection, not from the current reflection. We have to break that bad habit. Now, here's the truth. Nobody tells you about this method. You're always selecting, always. Every thought, every assumption, every story you tell, every meaning you give, every focus, every emotion, you're selecting. It's all selective, by the way. Did you know that? You're selecting a version, a reality, an experience. Most people are unconsciously selecting. From what? From the programming. Because when you take your, focus off of being a deliberate creator, what's there to fill in the gaps? Your blueprint, your operating system. It's just right there. Okay? So that's why I teach, let's look at that blueprint. Let's change that blueprint. And that is, again, the path to effortless manifestation. We're not in here for this perpetual, never-ending struggle bus and, hard work, efforting manifestation. No, thank you. We are not doing that for forever. Let's do the work, change the programming. You're going to have a much better experience all the way around. Not only are you going to not have to struggle to manifest, you're going to start to enjoy your manifestations because your blueprint, your come from, your operating system is up-leveled. Most people are unconsciously selecting. They're selecting based on what the 3D is showing them, based on their fears, based on their doubts, based on their programming, like I was just explaining. And then they're experiencing the version they unconsciously selected. And they wonder why they're stuck, why nothing's changing, why they keep experiencing the same patterns, because they keep selecting the same version because it's in their 3D. This is what has to stop. We have to break this habit. But once you understand this method, once you see that you're always selecting, you can become conscious of it. You become intentional about it. You stop letting the 3D determine your selection. No one should determine your selection. That's your job. I mean, literally, no one. No one other than you should be determining your selection. I mean, no one. Okay, I'll move on. You stop selecting from fear or doubt or the programming. You consciously choose, which version do I want? And you select that. Every moment, every thought, every assumption, you're selecting the version of you that's abundant, the version where your SP is yours, the version where you're successful. Not as something you're trying to create, as something that already exists and that you're choosing to experience. This is the most powerful method Neville ever taught. It's not really a technique, it's more of a principle, a truth. Creation is finished, everything already exists. Your only job is to select. Now, most people will watch this video and go back to trying to create, trying to manifest. They'll think it can't be that easy. Trying to make things happen, trying to make it harder than it is. Let's be happy that it's this easy, right? It's hard enough. We don't need it to be harder. But if you're here watching this, you are not most people. You understand now a couple of more things than maybe you did when you came to this video. You understand creation is finished, that everything already exists, that you're not creating. Your only job is selecting. If you're ready to master conscious selection, if you're ready to stop trying to create and start choosing from what already exists, if you're ready to select the version of your life you actually want, there's a link down in the pinned comment where you can book a free strategy call with me. And we'll identify what you're currently selecting unconsciously. We'll shift you to conscious selection and we'll align you with the version of your life that's already finished, already created, already waiting for you just to select it. That's the work that I do with my clients. That's the work that changes everything. Not struggling, not hard work, not efforting. No, it's just selection. So book that call. The link is in the pinned comment, also in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.